readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreons.
Thank you to the Pit Fighters, the First Swords, and all of the Bright Stars. Truth and courage.
Hello, welcome today to the channel. We are the Brothers Gwyn. I am Ed. This is my brother Will. We had a little bit of a break, but we are back. And
why did we have a break, Ed?
Technical issues. Diablo 4. It's a good game.
You've been enjoying Diablo, haven't you?
You too.
I did. I have. I've only played it once, but it was a lot of fun.
I'm obsessed. But anyway, let's get down to business. These are the books that we have started / are planning to read in the month of June. Thanks for watching this. I know it's a little bit late, but hey, better late than never.
Exactly. And yeah, as Ed said, because yes, we are halfway through June, we have read a few of these, and so we may be saying a little bit of our thoughts, but we won't go deep into it because that's what monthly wrap-ups are for, when we talk about what we've actually read.
I haven't actually read a single book this month. I know.
No way.
We had a bit of a break. Well, I had a bit of a break. But
how many books have you got in total?
No idea. Let's just roll into
Under 7?
The first one that we're both going to read is Dreaming the Serpent Spear by Boudicca. It's not by Boudicca, it's about Boudicca. By Amanda Scott. This is the last book of the Boudicca series, and we're hosting a read-along on our Discord channel. It's been great to see so many people enjoying the series. And Boudicca Dreaming the Serpent Spear is the last one of this, and it is a pretty heartbreaking point, really, to get to this stage of Boudicca's life, isn't it? If this sticks to the history, which I've read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll let you talk now.
Thank you. Well, yes, Ed's read it. I have not. Ed's doing a reread. I am not. I'm reading it for the first time. Ed's reading it for the second time. And yeah, I did not know until I picked this up earlier that there's a quote from David Gemmell on the back. So if we have not sold you on this series already, if the people who have loved this series have not sold you already, because I recommend you go check out the channel.
Only quote
on the Discord about everyone saying, I love this book. And obviously, not every 100% person will absolutely adore it, but overall, the overwhelming majority have been positive about this series. And yeah, there's been a lot of tears shed, and yeah, if that doesn't sell you, David Gemmell better do.
If David Gemmell and Stephen Pressfield recommend a book, you better read it. So enough said.
It's like a law, isn't it?
It is a law. Fantasy law.
It is.
And the next one is Alexander Darwin's The Combat Codes. And William has it here. The Combat Codes is a book that both of us are reading. It's released it's actually out now, isn't it?
Well, I've actually finished it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why was your bookmark
Because there's an added chapter at the end.
Ah, nice. So yeah, I'm really excited to get further into this. I'm about 100 pages in, and I think it's brilliant so far. If you like mixed martial arts, if you like UFC, or if you practice a martial art, this is the book for you. It's the combat is written brilliantly. It feels like a sports movie at times, doesn't it? With the trainer and the pupil. So if you like Rocky or Warrior with Tom Hardy, anything like that, you are going to absolutely love this. But if you're just a normal fantasy fan, you're going to love this as well, because I think the character work so far is pretty magnificent. The world building is like very fresh, has this kind of sci-fi feel to it. It's a little bit like Red Rising if it was just all hand-to-hand combat, really. It's like feels like a different part of Pierce Brown's world.
Yeah, and I was going to say that, you're talking about kind of that very intimate training martial arts element to it, but on top of that, you have these machinations going on in the background. A lot of mysteries. We're not exposed to too much for it, but we feel the tension. We know it's there, and we know that this is kind of going to escalate. And this is book 1 of a series. And so you can really see that going on in the background with the world building, the interactions with different nations and factions and powers. You can really see kind of the tension. And they're not just training for fun. This is a serious business. And there's a lot of cutthroat elements going on here. And I finished this, and particularly the last 200 pages are absolutely fantastic. And this is another release of 2023 that I will be praising throughout and recommending to many a person.
Nice. And as Alexander Darwin is, I believe, a jiu-jitsu practitioner and a teacher as well, then it has this realistic element to the combat, which is very martial arts based. As people who practice Shotokan karate, we have been loving it, haven't we? And it's great to see that. So I actually have a tattoo of Musashi Miyamoto on there. So this is like...
That was a good stretch there.
Thank you. I've just pulled my hamstring. The Book of Five Rings, if that was in a fantasy book, then here we go.
Very nice, Ed. And next up, I have some historical fiction, The Road to Rome by Ben Kane. Very, very, very close to the end of this. And this is the third and final instalment of his Forgotten Legion Chronicles trilogy. And so yeah, I've really thoroughly enjoyed the first 2 installments. He's really great at his character work. I've also read that his Lionheart trilogy, which is just out of shop on my bookshelves, and so that is about Richard the Lionheart, medieval focus and period. But this is, as you can tell from the title, Roman, and with Julius Caesar, Crassus, Pompey.
How can you read about the Romans after Boudicca?
Well, it doesn't mean you have to like them, Ed. Most of the perspectives are people have been slaves.
Nice.
So you're all obviously going to hate the masters, who are the Romans, and you hate them, and as you should hate any slave owner in any single book. It's a way to immediately make you just despise characters, isn't it? And this is great. I'm really enjoying it. I really feel the suspense and tension as we're reaching the final act of this book, and I'm worried for the characters because Ben Kane puts them through trials and tribulations time and time again. Ben
Kane is someone who is massively on my TBR to read this year. He's got a Hannibal series that I want to read that seems very different to many other historical fiction books, especially not many people write about the Carthage, anything about the Punic Wars. I'm going to read, and also his new release, Napoleon Spy, sounds brilliant. I've been really getting into Napoleon and that era the last few months, really this year, reading Simon Scarrow's series, which has been really, really good, about Napoleon and Arthur Wesley, the Duke of Wellington. Really interesting. Definitely looking forward to checking out Napoleon Spy.
And if you want to hear a pitch of Napoleon Spy by Ben Kane, the renowned historical fiction author himself, check out the video, which is over there.
But
it's this way. And that is The Road to Rome. What have you got up next, Ed?
The next one for me is the Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Such an amazing book.
As you know, I've been into my classics. Last month I was baptised by Moby Dick. A water pun there.
Very nice, Ed.
It sounds a bit weird actually. But anyway, The Picture of Dorian Gray, I'm definitely up for reading. William said it's one of his favourite classics, and it is just so well known, so well loved, that it feels like pretty much anyone who reads it in a modern day really setting pretty much tends to enjoy it, don't they? More often than not. Sometimes obviously if it's a classic, sometimes you don't relate to it as much, or it just doesn't apply nowadays, or it's just not as smooth or enjoyable to read because of the different, different focus, the different societies and cultures. But this is a big hit in lots of circles. So I'm looking forward to getting to it.
So late 19th century, and I've not dedicated a particular amount of time to the study of the period and kind of the emergence of the Gothic genre, but
you do like Oscar Wilde.
I do feel like there was a shift from a much denser writing style to a style which has a philosophical lining, but is a lot more widely accessible as well. So it's not kind of a battle to wade through the prose, but then there still is a lot of kind of thematic work as well, and I really love that with kind of the Gothic genre in general. And have you read Dracula?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Dracula?
Yeah.
Have you read Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Frankenstein?
Yeah.
So Gothic work. So it seems that you'll probably be a fan. Obviously, this is very different in many ways, but there is that supernatural element as well, which I love with Gothic books. And
there's the
I actually love it.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
We don't mention
which
that.
Dorian Gray's in.
It's actually a good film.
It's probably not, but I really enjoyed it as a kid. And this book has someone called Sybil in it, so it can't not be good, can it? That's yours, actually.
Good reasoning.
I'm going to take it over here.
Well, good reasoning.
If you've got someone called Sybil in there, it's going to be good.
Hit me, Will. Next up, I have True Grit. Our patron Jen will be very happy to hear that I've finally done it. I finally read True Grit. Thank you, Ed. I've been talking for months on end that I'm going to begin my Western dive, and I'll begin that by reading True Grit. In our April TBR, I said, probably True Grit. And our May TBR, I said,
Jen is holding you accountable.
She is.
I honestly think that if you hadn't have read it by now, then you'd have probably a 6-shooter coming your way.
Probably.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way at all. But I think Jen finally got me to read it because she shamed me publicly.
But don't tell us if you enjoyed it. Save that to the end of the month. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
And the next one for me is going to, hopefully, it's a busy month, is going to be The Will of the Many by James Arlington. Everyone and their dog is loving this book, and I have FOMO. So
I watched Patrick's review a little while ago, talking about what an amazing kind of.
It sounds like a fantastic book. I know that Mike Mike's book reviews, hasn't enjoyed it quite as much. That's probably the first time I've seen someone not fall in love with this book. But I mean, anything with a Roman school kind of Pierce Brown style setting meets Patrick Rothfuss, I'm going to read. And it's just a book that's got me quite buzzing to read it, which I haven't felt really too much for a while. It's just a book that immediately hooked me with the premise. I haven't read James Arlington before. I've heard lots of good things about the Licanius trilogy, but just never got round to it. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading The Will of the Many.
And next up, I have The Prophet of Edan.
Yes, we both do, Will.
We both do. By Dr. Fancy. Philip Chase himself.
I believe this is coming out on the summer solstice.
Oh,
21st of June.
Might be 23rd. Might be 21st.
Could be one of them.
One of them.
Might be.
And so, yes, this is a book that we are very, very excited for. And yeah, we absolutely love the book one, The Way of Edan. You can check out our review, which we did on the channel to hear our thoughts about book one. Full transparency, we're lucky enough to call Philip Chase a friend of ours. But we do not believe that affects our judgment and our opinions on a book. We feel like we can still be honest. And The Way of Edan is perfect for readers who want that kind of classic fantasy feel, but combined with a more modern take as well, where nature particularly is approached in kind of a more classic way, in that ethereal feeling when nature has a real relationship with the land, and it really affects the prose, and it feels pretty beautiful at times. But at more
times
modern,
it reads like a grim historical fiction, which is my jam.
particularly when looking in kind of the warfare.
In America, my jelly.
Oh my word, stretching.
Peanut butter and jelly.
But oh dear, peanut butter and jelly.
No, but I think in America jam is known as jelly. So peanut butter and jelly is you put peanut butter and jam.
Still though,
William, that's a whole meal that people love. You can't you can't diss it.
Let us know in the comments below if you like
that rhymes.
Peanut butter and jam jelly. Jam jelly. Anyway, The Prophet of Edan. Sorry, Philip. This is not worthy.
Disgusting.
Yeah, jam jelly is not worthy to stand next to the Prophet.
You love
I
peanut
adore
butter,
peanut butter.
And you love...
But even that's not worthy to be mentioned alongside The Prophet of Edan.
But anyway, we are looking forward to reading The Prophet of Edan. We loved reading The Way of Edan. It was brilliant to read it last year. We read it... before most people.
And we read it again this year.
Exactly. And then we spoke to Philip Chase himself about the process. And we are so lucky. It is the year of Chase. It is the year of the best of fantasy. And The Way of Edan is going to be right up there as well as The Prophet of Edan. And we're so excited.
And book 3 comes out in September.
Yes, it does. So 3 books, 1 year.
I've been saying, and I'll say it again. Ready? It's the year of Philip. Next up, Ed.
I was going to let that just hang there.
Just hang for a second.
And the next one for me, is another new release, which is coming out in the beginning of July. And this is Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty. And this is meant to be a grimdark fantasy book that I've heard lots of brilliant things about, really. I don't know too much about what it's about, but I've just heard that people are really, really enjoying it, really getting into it, and that it is a grimdark book that must be on your radar for 2023. This comes out at the beginning of July. We've been very lucky enough to have been sent an early review copy by Head of Zeus, and we will be talking to Gaurav Mohanty himself over on Instagram, I believe, in the next few weeks, but we will keep you updated. But I'm really, really excited to read this. It's so exciting reading new fantasy books that have been coming out, because really the first half of the year really wasn't too new booky, was it? But then we've had Malevolent 7, the Book That Wouldn't Burn, the Prophet of Edan, Combat Codes, the Sons of Darkness. We've got Witch's Sin coming out by Daniel Green. We've got many, many other books coming out.
And
it's
we
really
will be doing a
exciting.
review of the Judas Blossom, which we read quite a while ago, but we want to leave it close to release date.
So expect lots and lots of reviews in the next few weeks, couple of months, because at the end of the day, this is a book review channel.
It is.
And even though people don't watch those reviews as much, I guess they accumulate more views over time, don't they?
Yeah.
But with the new releases, we can't read these, gush about them, and not do
a dedicated review. Yeah.
Exactly. So, suck it up and watch it, because these are the books.
These are the books
of the year. I'm looking forward to it. Are you reading this as well this month, or are you reading it at the beginning of next month?
I think it would be the first read of July for me.
Woo! I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I think I will.
Yeah.
Next up, I have another Western, and that is Shane, and I finished this, and so I won't say too much, but
Show off.
my second Western that I've read in June, and the second Western that I've read in the last 2 years. And
Call me
another one
Shane.
that I absolutely loved. But I won't say too much more because I'll be talking about it at the end of the year.
Nice.
And yeah, Ed is doing a reference to the film. He's not just weirdly...
Shane. Everyone needs to watch Shane, and then everyone needs to watch Logan, because in Logan they watch Shane.
Professor X is watching
How many books
Shane.
have you got left?
2.
Oh, you go
Okay.
next. I've got one.
Perfect. Next up, I have Pet Sematary by Stephen King.
You will never look at dogs or cats.
Have you
the
watched
same.
it or read it?
Oh no, I just saw the trailer.
Yeah, it looks a bit freaky, doesn't it?
I read a review
But
on Twitter.
I've been wanting to dive into some more Stephen King. So my book reviews, what do you think about Pet Sematary? I've not heard you actually mention it before.
You
but
clearly have not watched enough of Mike's videos.
you can never have watched enough of Mike's videos.
True. You have to be realistic
about these things.
about Stephen King.
About Stephen King. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking
About
forward to
pets.
reading Pet Sematary, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being terrified because for Papa Gwyn, when we did a buddy read of Salem's Lot, didn't we? And he said,
I didn't enjoy that buddy read.
He said, I'll do a buddy read of you. One stipulation though, you can only read Salem's Lot when it's dark outside.
Yeah.
And it was winter, so it was dark a lot. So yeah, there we go. That's Pet Sematary.
Yeah, that was really scary actually, and
It was.
Also, he would then
His intro as well.
Yeah. I don't like reading scary books at night time. Like in The Two Towers, when Gollum was in it. Don't make me jump. When Gollum was in it, I wasn't able to watch those scenes at night time because I'd have nightmares. I was 23 at the time. But yeah, the last book for me is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. I've been a bit of a wally, to be honest, and I promised much to myself that I was going to read all of the Red Rising books, the trilogy, the first trilogy, and then the next 2 books, Iron Gold and Dark Age, I believe it's called, before Lightbringer came out. But I got sidetracked and I didn't manage it. So I'm going to have to go to Iron Gold now, try and quickly get through them. I doubt I'll manage it, but I will do my best. I might have to be probably reading Lightbringer in August, I reckon. But yeah, that's my book.
It's alright, Ed.
Book readers.
Yeah,
Anonymous.
it sounded really like guilt-ridden there, didn't you?
I feel guilty for myself
For yourself.
and for everyone watching. Really,
You won't be able to talk to anyone about it because people will be over it by then.
All right, I'll do Fuel Nighters. I'll read Dark Age.
Dedication.
At the same time as Iron Gold.
At the same, both at the same. One page.
Simultaneously.
Next up, I have, and last up, I have Underlord by Will White.
I could listen to Iron Gold while reading Dark Age.
No, you can't. The 6th instalment of Cradle. Yeah, so I've been listening to one instalment of this series a month. The only reading goal that I've kept to so far. There's other ones that I've partially completed, done a bit, this and that, you know. And technically, I have kept to the goal of reading westerns in 2023 because I've read 2 in the last...
read 2 in
the last 2 weeks.
days.
But yeah, Cradle is one I said I'll read 1 a month, and I have kept to it. And so yes, I cannot let that be broken.
Wow,
Because
Will, not like you, stick to promises.
Exactly, yeah. And so I've left.
Sorry.
I think I've left a book. Just reminded me. Promises. I am also reading Guards because the Patreons won. They voted for Guards for us to read. So yeah, every other month the patrons vote for a book that they want us to read, and that is a promise you've broken, actually, isn't it?
Savage.
Isn't
I'm
it?
going to read 11 cycles.
So it is. When are you can do it?
I didn't realise how big it was.
Commit now.
I
When?
will read it in August, and I will read
Another one.
another one in July. Yeah, there we go.
So they can do a vote.
July
So
and
you
August.
get 2 months of picking what Ed reads if you're a part of our Patreon. And so yeah, this is my one. And yeah, I'm pretty lucky because the one that they voted for is a book that has been on my list for a long time. And I cannot wait to read what is widely regarded as the most beloved Terry Pratchett and Discworld book. And so yeah, there we go. That is everything that I intend to read in the month of June. A few I've
And that
already
is
read.
everything I intend to read in the month of June.
No
A few
way,
I've already
fancy
read.
that. I thought you said you haven't read any.
Fantasy that.
I said fancy that.
Oh, I think they all are actually fantasy, aren't they? Apart from Dorian Gray, must be fantasy.
Well, supernatural elements.
Gothic horror.
Yeah.
Gothic fantasy.
Oh.
Gothic. You have to interrupt me, otherwise just keep going.
That's the point. I just let it keep going. But anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you have on your TBR for June. What books have you already really enjoyed this month? Apologies again for the delay in getting this video out. We have had technical difficulties, and
yeah, technically we did have technical.
We did technically
we had an accidental break, didn't we? Because
yeah,
we just wouldn't upload our videos, and we thought.
And we forgot thumbnails and all this stuff.
Yeah, we forgot.
And then Ed had Diablo.
Yeah.
So yeah, that took over. But anyway, we are back, and we are back fiercely
than ever.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have plenty of videos coming your way. Thank you everyone so much, as always, for supporting the channel. And another bit of news, we will be having a live stream on the 23rd of June.
Yeah, we will.
This coming Friday.
Really?
Yes, we are.
This coming Friday?
Well, yeah, because
it's
a Thursday now.
I know that bit.
But this video will be out a bit later.
Brilliant. Nice. We'll be doing a live stream on Friday the 23rd. Thanks for letting me know.
Truth and courage.
Truth and courage.
The
See you there.